Captured during raids in Eastern Europe, she was brought to Istanbul and sold into the imperial harem, a place where nearly 300 young women lived under strict rules, silence, and constant rivalry. In the harem, girls were trained to survive. They learned the Turkish language, Islamic faith, court etiquette, music, embroidery, poetry, and dance. Many learned these skills, but Hürrem mastered them. She was intelligent, observant, and emotionally sharp. She laughed often. In a world ruled by fear, her laughter stood out. Because of this, she was given the name Hürrem, meaning the joyful one or the smiling one. When Sultan Suleiman noticed her, it was not only her beauty that captured him, it was her intelligence, her wit, and her emotional strength. She challenged him, she fascinated him, she became unforgettable. Soon, rumors spread across the palace. Some claimed she was a witch. Others believed she possessed forbidden knowledge, but the truth was far simpler. Hürrem understood human nature. She knew that emotional intelligence could overpower brute force. Then came the unthinkable. For centuries, Ottoman sultans did not marry. Concubines bore heirs, but marriage was avoided to prevent political influence. Suleiman shattered this tradition. He legally married Hürrem. A former slave became the lawful wife of the most powerful man in the empire. This single decision shocked the court and changed Ottoman history forever. She shattered one of the oldest and strictest rules of the Ottoman court, the rule of one woman, one son. Before Hürrem, a concubine was expected to bear only a single male heir and then be pushed aside. But Hürrem did the unthinkable. She gave Sultan Suleiman multiple sons and remained by his side. In that moment, she didn't just break tradition. She rewrote the rules of the empire. Before Hürrem Sultan, women in the Ottoman harem lived in the shadows. Their influence was silent, indirect, and temporary. Hürrem changed everything. After her rise, the harem became a center of real political power. Decisions were discussed there. Alliances were shaped there. Futures were decided there. Historians would later call this period the Sultanate of Women, and it began with Hürrem. She redefined what power looked like. She did not rule openly, she ruled strategically. She knew when to speak and when silence was more dangerous than words. Unlike other women of the harem, she did not disappear after giving birth to princes. She stayed beside the sultan, influencing him daily. Her opinions mattered. Her presence changed decisions. This frightened the old elite. Military leaders and court officials feared her growing authority. They understood that once tradition was broken, it could never fully be restored. Hürrem also extended her power beyond palace walls. She funded hospitals, schools, mosques, and kitchens for the poor. These were not acts of charity alone, they were acts of legacy. Women after her learned something revolutionary. Influence was possible, power was attainable, and silence was no longer the only option. Hürrem Sultan did not stop at influence, she entered politics directly. She corresponded with foreign rulers. She exchanged letters with queens and kings. She represented the Sultan in diplomatic matters. European ambassadors feared her. In their reports, they described Hürrem as the most powerful person in the empire after Suleiman himself. They knew that many decisions carried her influence, but power always comes with danger. Official records state that Hürrem Sultan died of natural causes in 1553, yet many historians remain skeptical. Some believe she was seriously ill for years. Others suggest she was slowly poisoned. The truth remains hidden behind palace walls. What followed her death is perhaps the strongest proof of her importance. Sultan Suleiman never took another woman. He lived 8 more years, alone, grieving, and reportedly broken. For a ruler surrounded by power and armies, his silence spoke louder than words. But power always comes with a price, and Hürrem Sultan paid it every single day. Her children lived in constant fear. In the Ottoman Empire, the fight for the throne followed one brutal rule: only one son could survive. Every prince knew it. Every mother feared it. Hürrem watched her sons grow up knowing that brother could one day become executioner. There were no fairy tales inside the palace walls, only survival. And yet, despite everything she did for the empire, she was never truly loved by the people. Sultan Suleiman was adored, celebrated as a hero, a legend. But Hürrem? She became the perfect villain. Whenever a decision angered the people, her name was whispered. If taxes rose, it was Hürrem. If a prince fell, it was Hürrem. If war came, it was Hürrem. Even when she had no part in it, she was blamed for choices she never made, punished for power she never officially held, and still, she kept building. Hürrem was not only a woman of influence, she was a woman of action. She founded hospitals for the sick, public kitchens that fed the poor, shelters for women, mosques that still stand in Istanbul today. While history painted her as ruthless, her legacy fed the hungry and healed the broken. But there is one accusation that never faded: the death of Prince Mustafa. To this day, there is no direct proof that Hürrem ordered his execution. No letter, no confession, no undeniable evidence. Yet many historians believe that her fight to secure the future of her own sons set tragic events in motion, not out of cruelty, but out of fear. Fear of losing everything. Fear of watching her children die one by one. Fear of a system that allowed no mercy. In the Ottoman court, love was dangerous, and motherhood was deadly. Hürrem did not create that system. She simply learned how to survive it, and in doing so, she changed the course of history forever. Hürrem Sultan was never an ordinary concubine. She was the only woman allowed to live permanently beside the Sultan, even during military campaigns, something unthinkable before her. Interestingly, she never officially held the title Sultan during her lifetime. She was known as Haseki Hürrem, a title that reflected her unique and unprecedented status. Even in death, she remained exceptional. She was buried near Sultan Suleiman, an honor no woman before her had ever received. Years later, when Suleiman died, he ordered to be buried beside her in the magnificent Suleymaniye Mosque. A slave who became a wife. A woman without a crown who ruled an empire. A legend that changed history forever. Hürrem Sultan did not just break the rules, she rewrote them. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more hidden history. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. Your support truly means a lot.